Hi, my name is Mark Nejma. I'm from Newsweed.com, and I'm going to give you a summary of the news. Today's July 2nd, 2021. There's quite a few pieces of news. Let me go over them with you. In New Jersey, Jack Ciattarelli has called out Governor Murphy for giving back money he took from New Jerseyans as taxes or money that he had borrowed from the federal government. Is this a dirty trick? When a politician sends you money, you think that they're giving the money to you themselves out of the goodness of their heart. But remember, it's always usually tax money that they collected from you and are giving it back. The $500 checks being sent this month to hundreds of thousands of homes will have a message from Governor Murphy attached to them, a potential reminder to voters when they enter voting booths this November to decide whether to give him and the Democrats who approved the rebates another term. This is definitely dirty politics for sure, especially the timing of it will definitely bring a reminder when the election comes. Murphy's Republican opponent, Jack Ciattarelli, accused Murphy of using the checks to his advantage in the election. Well, it seems pretty obvious, but that might just be the way politics is played everywhere, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. Out in Kansas City, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement said a recent operation in Wichita, Kansas, and Missouri resulted in the rescue of 31 victims of human trafficking, including 14 missing children for sexual exploitation. Now, these missing children may have been those missing children that came across the border. This is, I guess, why they're trying to control the border. ICE said the youngest child was 4 years old and 17 were adults. According to the ICE operation that took place June 17th to 26th, and the enforcement operation resulted in about 82 individuals who will be charged with crimes related to prostitution, commercial sex trafficking, sodomy, narcotics, felony assault on a police officer, sex offender registry violations, and outstanding warrants. A little look back at history today. We've all learned this in school years ago. At least I did when I was in school. However, maybe they got rid of it. Amelia Earhart disappeared this day in history over the Pacific Ocean. On July 2nd, 1937, aviator Amelia Earhart vanished while attempting to fly around the globe. She was born in Kansas in 1897 and took up aviation at the age of 24. She was regarded as one of the first female aviators. That was a long time ago, but we're still thinking about Amelia Earhart. In New Jersey, Myra Gavilanes Alexis, 49 of Brick Township, was indicted on the charges of murder, possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose, and unlawful possession of a weapon in the death of Rebecca Galvanis Alexis. Apparently, the two were a couple. Brick police responded to the residence on Creek Road for a report of an unresponsive female on May 17, 2020, and found Rebecca unresponsive in an upstairs bedroom of the residence. The Ocean County medical examiner performed a post-mortem examination the next day and determined the manner of death to be a homicide. Apparently, she was whacked with a wine chiller. Whew. A lot of alcohol in that wine chiller. Terrible. Sorry, Rebecca. Well, let's see how the trial goes. She's not guilty until proven. With the Miami collapse, we're still talking about this, and rightfully so. Apparently, Adriana Sarmiento heard a loud noise from her hotel and headed outside to investigate. She looked south across 88th Street towards the Champlain Towers South condo and was shocked by what she saw through the entrance of the underground parking garage. Here's what she said. I saw the roof of the parking garage on the floor, huge chunks of concrete, Sarmiento told the Miami Herald. She took out her phone and recorded a short video. The timestamp shows 1:18 a.m. Emergency calls about the building collapse started coming in 1:26 a.m. 9/11 records show. The whole side of the building shown in Sarmiento video was gone. Something was happening a few minutes before the building comes down, said Abi Aguirre, a Drexel University engineering researcher, there was something happening around the deck area. They call it punching shear. It's when there is a failure in the concrete slabs, and the concrete slabs fall away from the column supporting it. Years ago, in 2018, another engineer looked at the building and said there was poor drainage. That error was causing severe damage to concrete slab below the pool deck and planters. As it turned out, the damaged conditions got worse, and here we are today, more than a week later, trying to dig people out. The death toll today is up to 20, I believe, and every minute it can change. Sorry about all this. Big trouble. We're back in New Jersey. New Jersey's new marijuana law is blamed for out-of-control party in Long Branch. Where was the party? Well, Pier Village in Long Branch, a favorite hotspot and a development of our ex-president's son-in-law, Jared. So what's happening is a number of young people come to Long Branch and they get rowdy. Things get out of control. And firsthand, we've heard all the noise in Monmouth County ourselves. It was promoted as a social media party in Long Branch and similar ones like it at the Jersey Shore. Monmouth County Sheriff Sean Golden discusses how events like this bring on challenges for law enforcement. I guess people just want to smoke in the towns they can. Here's some of your daily Trump news outside of the Jared news. Since his father took office, Barron was remained largely out of sight, but we've managed to learn quite a bit. We learned it on the internet. And here's a little tidbit. Apparently, Melania rubs down the young son Barron's face with caviar to moisturize his face. That's cool. I just hope they save it because that stuff is delicious. Anyway, let's go down south to Charlotte. Charlotte, we're starting to see some real estate woes. As a matter of fact, there's a center of the town there called Epicenter, faces a potential foreclosure over a delinquent debt that the retail and entertainment complex has played a prominent role in Uptown during its 13-year history. This is a popular place. The 3-story center on the old convention center site in Center City was considered a key Uptown redevelopment. Epicenter featured a movie theater, bowling, hotels, restaurants, and nightclubs. But the coronavirus pandemic hit the site hard, so did politicians who shut everything down, with many tenants permanently closed, and the owner of the Epicenter is facing foreclosure for missed debt payments, according to a lawsuit. Now, in New York City, penthouses prices are skyrocketing and selling rapidly. That's rich people that pay as much as $53 million for a penthouse in New York City. But here, small businesses are unable to operate, and now it's causing a potential crack in the real estate economy. Those two crazy guys, Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, are in a race to get to space. I don't know why two old men would want to get in a spacesuit and get blasted off into the sky. So I got a feeling this isn't going to turn out well. But anyway, Sir Richard Branson decided to launch earlier than expected on Virgin Galactic space flight schedule, a move that would put him in space this month, just 9 days before Jeff Bezos flies. But whether the surprise change makes sense for the publicly traded space tourism company is a different matter. The billionaire announced the plans to launch on July 11th, a month after Bezos announced he would fly the Blue Origin's first passenger spaceflight scheduled for July 20th. But now he's changed it. Canaccord Genuity analyst Ken Herbert, whose firm has been buy rating on Virgin Galactic stock with a $35 price tag, said there may be a few other reasons besides just the ego for Branson to launch before Bezos. But overall, he thinks the ego is a primary driver here. Personally, I think if you're that old and you got that much money, what the heck do you want to do that for? Well, that's just me. Over in the electric car business, company called Lordstown Motors is in trouble. The Justice Department is investigating Lordstown Motors, sending shares of the embattled electric vehicle startup plunging 17%. The Department adjusted inquiry follows a probe by the Securities and Exchange Commission into the company and public comments made by executives, including its former chairman and CEO, Steve Burns. Whoa. Boeing, remember Boeing? They make those planes out in Seattle. Well, 2 of their planes last year, which they really took no responsibility for, crashed. Supposedly, something went wrong with the software. But now they had another problem. A cargo plane went down in the Pacific Ocean. Fortunately, the pilots were saved. I don't know about the cargo, though. So if you have something coming across the Pacific Ocean and you don't get it, now you know why. Let's get to the biggest news of today, where everybody was on the edge of the seat this morning. That was the jobs number. Well, guess what? The jobs number was about 850,000, and the wages only went up just a bit. Still, it's rumored that the extra money that's being paid for unemployed is holding back returning workers. One person I know was so excited about the rising wages that he took on a second job. No name mentioned. But anyway, the actual unemployment number increased. So I would say the people that are really hardworking, that really want to get ahead in life, they jumped into those jobs that are paying more money, and they're working harder. Yet some others that don't really want to work, and they consider the wages that they're getting from the federal government and the state to be enough, are sitting home on their butts. Anyway, that's the news for today, July 2nd, 2021. And remember, it's never as it seems. Have a wonderful 4th of July weekend, and thank you, Jocelyn and Dan, for all your help. Good night.